Yesterday, I was given a very powerful reminder of why I'm in this business, and I think this is so important and profound to actually understand why you do what you do, because if you don't, I don't think you can succeed. So I'm gonna give you my framework, my 3 dimensions that I'm using for myself, and hopefully it's gonna be very useful for you too. And if we haven't met, my name is Edita. I'm a former struggling network marketer, and apart from all the things that I've been saying that prospecting didn't feel right for me, and that's why I was struggling, there were so many more things that I didn't know, I didn't have, and one of those things, or the whole bunch of those things, could be categorized as mindset, as the way of thinking, because the truth is, if you want to achieve something big in your life, if you want to change your life, if you want to make a big impact, you don't just do your business from the practical point of view. You have to work on your thinking, and it's an ongoing process, and it never ends, and it's the most important piece, because your thinking drives everything else. Your thinking is gonna drive whether you're gonna stick with this or not. Your thinking is gonna drive whether you're gonna push through the difficulties. Your thinking is gonna drive whether you gonna give up at the first bump or the fifth bump, or continuous series of what you might perceive as failure. But anyway, and I think where everything starts is understanding why you are doing what you're doing. And I know a lot of people talk about making money, having freedom and all that kind of stuff, but actually the real reasons are somewhere else. And the other thing is that I know that there has been a way of talking about why in capitals, and you might know the guy named Seneca, and one of his TED talks is very popular, and he explains what kind of businesses succeed and why they succeed, and he gives an example, and basically everything comes down to understanding your why. And every business, if they operate from that place of having a why, they create a much bigger impact, and they create a much bigger following, fans, and so on. But honestly, I did have a problem with this why. It sounded too abstract to me. And what I found for myself, the reality is that we can't just have one why. Usually, in reality, the why is multi-dimensional, and for me, most probably it's either 3-dimensional, or maybe I'm coming to the 4th one, but in reality I actually have 4 or at least 3 dimensions of the why. It's very easy to, it's very difficult, it's the opposite. It's very difficult to sort of distill everything into only one why. And as a business, you have different whys as a person. So let's dive in, and I'm gonna give you my own breakdown, how I think about my why. And by the way, the reason why I was getting these reminders about my whys was because my daughter, she's 4.5, and she's finishing her preschool today. She is there as I speak, and I'll be joining her a little later, and I didn't know it was gonna make me so emotional. I'm not even sure exactly why it's affecting me that way. There are multiple reasons probably, but I was definitely getting these reminders, and I was definitely rethinking a lot yesterday and today why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I guess that's what we need sometimes. We get bogged down into those little things, daily life, business operations, sending emails, posting on social media, these meetings and all that kind of stuff, and we forget why we are doing all that. So, but when something significant happens, then we get these reminders, and they are very powerful, and that's the time to actually drill down into, deeper into these things, because apart from all the things that we can technically do, developing all the skills, what we have in here drives everything else. So anyway, so my three dimensions of my why. So the first dimension is my personal, my personal. Why I, as a person, am doing what I'm doing. Why am I doing this as a person? When I first joined network marketing, I guess I didn't even go in that direction, to that kind of thinking. Now I clearly understand that, that I, as a person, I'm looking for a purpose for me personally, some sort of fulfillment, some sort of a sense of abundance, and also exploring my own potential and reaching my own potential as a person, so I can feel complete, so I can be who I am, so I can have the sense of achievement and some sort of pride, but not in the sense of competition with anyone, but in the sense of knowing that I've achieved something, instead of going with the flow, instead of doing what everyone else is doing, instead of being conditioned. I cut out of that conditioning, that bias, and I am doing something completely different. And I want to know for myself that I've done what I could in my life to live a better life, to feel more fulfilled, and to live with a purpose. So that's my personal why. The second why includes people around me, people who I love, my family mostly, and friends. So my family, obviously my daughter, now obviously she's finishing the preschool, she's starting the new school in September. It's a new stage, it's a new chapter, it's very important. And for me, as her mom, I am, first of all, I'm glad that I can be with her for her most important moments in her life. And also, now that I've learned so much, so many skills, and now that I've changed or tweaked my thinking, I'm so glad I can give it to her. I'm so glad I can teach her different things. I'm so glad I can teach her to think out of the box, to know that there are so many opportunities around, and to recognize those opportunities, and to just be who she is and do what she wants, and know that there is unlimited potential to be whoever she wants. So obviously I'm gonna teach her all those things that she is not gonna get in school, and it makes it much easier for me, or it helps me be more relaxed about even, and I'm not saying she's a very smart girl already, but I'm way less worried about her results in school anymore after learning all these, so many successful people, so many entrepreneurs that I know with big businesses, with big results, and a lot of, a lot of success. Many of them are school dropouts, college dropouts. Many of them didn't fit in, and I know those things, and I understand much better why that happens, and I'm so much more relaxed about how she's gonna get on in school. Though it is important, but there is no pressure anymore, and so I'm so happy I can teach her different things. And the third why is also very important because it's related to the business. And the business, because we are in a business, it's very important to have a why around, I probably call it marketplace why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm doing this specific business. What is the purpose of this specific business? How does that relate to the marketplace I'm in? So obviously for me, it's helping, it's serving my marketplace, it's helping people, it's helping network marketers to get results, to succeed, to educating them on all sorts of things that I've learned myself. And I think that's why it's very important to, instead of trying to come up with this one why, which is too abstract to be lived, that's why having these three whys, 3 dimensions of why is very important. It helps me really, really picture all these different aspects of my life and what I want to achieve in all these areas of my life. So in terms of my marketplace, serving my prospects, serving my customers, helping them succeed, helping them change their thinking, helping them become confident and proud of themselves, and helping them get the results that they need to be able to provide for their families and their communities and so on. So that's my main 3 dimensions. Now there is one more I mentioned in the beginning. There's another one. And I guess when you start getting results, when you start becoming more known and so on, that 4 dimensions starts emerging somehow, and it's the global impact. It has to do with the global impact. So what do you want? What impact do you want to make on the world, on the global community? Do you want to leave some sort of a footprint? But again, not in this egoistic kind of way, but more like coming from the place of serving. And through my life so far, I've used so many things, tools, technologies, books. I learned from so many different people, and I'm grateful. And so I want to somehow return that. And I was thinking the other time, over the last year or so, I met many people who helped me on a personal level, not just, through books that I bought or through trainings, but really on a personal level. And you know what happens when you get help? You sort of want to spread it. You want to pass it on to someone else. It's infectious. It really is infectious. And so I want to continue that as well. It's an emerging fourth dimension, but I know that in the beginning, if you're just starting out, normally people don't think about these things because this thought is actually scary. Leaving, making impact on the world, usually people don't think in those terms because they think, who am I? I'm nobody. Nobody wants my ideas. Nobody wants my thinking. There is nothing I can give. There is nothing I know others don't. There's no experience I have others don't, and so on. But that's really not true. That's really not true. Everybody has something in them, within them, to give to the world, except they don't know it. But through learning the skills, through learning, gaining certain knowledge, through working on your mind, your thinking, you start digging those things out, and you change. Like I said, somebody did good for me, so I want to pass that on to others, and it goes on and on and on and on that way. So the 3 dimensions, really, I want you to think about, to feel stronger every day, to be more confident, to keep going when it's difficult, is your personal why. Who as a person you want to become, why as a person, your own fulfillment, your own what you want for yourself personally. The second one is the people you love. The third one is your marketplace, why you are doing this specific business. What do you want to give to your marketplace? How do you want to help them? And the fourth one, the emerging one, but postpone it, do it later, is the impact on the world. And if you keep going, you will arrive at this one. I'm almost certain you will. But first, focus on these 3, and they will make you stronger. So on that note, I'm wrapping up, and I'll be actually get changed and go join my daughter in her play school for the last time. And thanks very much for watching. It's an important day for me, and I'll talk to you later.